All right. Welcome to another Game is Game podcast, 30 team, 30 minutes. Session number, I think I did a lot of session number twos and they didn't record and messed it up. So let's just call this session number two. I had some issues with my computer, but I'm back in business, back rocking. So you're going to get these from me weekly, like I promised. Every team, when I'm by myself, 15 to 10 minutes. When I'm with someone, 20 to 30 minutes. Dolo on this one. So let's go ahead and put a little timer up on the clock and we'll go ahead and get started. Definitely subscribe, leave any comments. You have any questions, definitely answer your questions, respond to all my comments. So I'm gonna start with the Utah Jazz, winners of 7 in a row, longest win streak in the NBA. Slow week for them. Back to back with the Pelicans that they won both games this week. So not too many games this week, nothing on the marquee level, but there was big controversy last night over their win, and the Pelicans not having to do anything with the game. It was after the game. The NBA, inside the NBA guys, Charles and Shaq in particular, questioned whether Donovan Mitchell can be a superstar. And then there was also a kerfuffle where Shaq was doing his normal taking shots at the big man, said that you can average 12 and 11 points and get paid $200 million. That was a shot at Rudy Gobert. So, I'll start with Spider Mitchell. I do think that it does hold there is some truth to the criticism. I talked about in the season opening edition of this with the Jazz that I thought that he started to ascend in that D Wade stratosphere that he was getting comps of out of college that I thought was overblown, especially with his performance in the bubble. And I want to see if that translated over in the regular season. And so far it hasn't. He's played well of late, but that, house on fire. And I mean, you're not going to average 50 and 40. There were him and Jamal Murray were trading 40-point games. That's not going to happen. But the ferocity in which he played in, I didn't really see that going into this season. First and foremost, I've said, and I mentioned this on the first one, he's the Jazz only really downhill player. Rudy Gobert is a lob catcher. He's not really a post threat. Even Bogdanovich and Mike Conley, these are jump shooters. Clarkson, he has some downhill to his game, but he's mostly a jump shooter. Donovan Mitchell is the type of player that could get to the rim at will. And his diet of shots, to me, was concerning. So his three-point attempts have gone up. He's averaging almost 9 three-point attempts a game, but his free throws have still stayed stagnant. He's averaging about 4 free throws a game. I mean, I think to win, to be consistent as a winner, especially for him, I think he's going to have to get that free throw rate up to 10 free throws a game. He's going to have to really, really attack downhill. For the Utah Jazz fans, if you remember the first game versus the Pelicans, he had this, highlight play where he attacks the basket, whips a pass out to Bogdanovich for a three. And, he has that ability. That's the comparisons. That's where the comparisons to D Wade start. That ability to drive, get down here, the flash. As if you remember D Wade, that's what, I wanted to see from him more. I do like that he's expanded his range and he feels more comfortable shooting a three. And that's a tool in his bag, but he definitely has to start attacking that rim more, getting to the free throw line, finding ways to get fouled. Um, they talked about inside the NBA that he's only had one double-digit rebound game and one double-digit assist game. The rebounds don't really bother me. You play with the Gobert, but the assist. And now he's playing with Mike Conley, so the point guard duties are kind of split. But I would like to see him attacking more, getting downhill more. That 4 free throw rate, 4 free throws a game, that's just absurd with someone his ability and his capabilities. He definitely needs to attack the ball more. When you get to Rudy Gobert and the shots with him, that's when I thought that's where it feels kind of personal. The inside the NBA guys, they're always hard on big men. I think they kind of drove Dwight Howard crazy, making him feel like he should be averaging 28, 29 points a game when, his real true value was rolling and dunking and defending. And I think that caused a lot of unhappiness in his game. I know that they attacked Blake Griffin quite a bit on that during the prime of his career. So I think that's just a big man thing. Rudy Gobert, defensive player of the year, multiple time defensive player of the year. Uh, you know, uh, he's been taken advantage of defensively. There's that dichotomy where, he's this great defender, but versus the Hardens, as Utah fans know, versus the real true pick and roll mavens, because of his liabilities and his lack of mobility, he gets taken advantage of. So, people question whether he deserves that defensive player of the year. Kevin Durant has came out openly and said that, how good of a defender is he when the best players in the league, who generally all play pick and roll, Dame, Steph Curry, LeBron, Harden, the list goes on, he's a liability to guard them because he's always going to want to drop. He's not going to want to get out and, really blitz pick and rolls and things of that nature. But the league has kind of, silently, slowly but surely, they've kind of moved back to the big man in the paint. You have Embiid, you have the Joker, who Gobert guards extremely well. I don't see on a consistent basis. I don't see him play Embiid too much because they're in different conferences. But on a consistent basis, I don't see anyone guard Joker better than Gobert. If you remember that series that he played versus Denver, Joker didn't really dominate that series like that. I mean, Gobert's just a load for him. You have Anthony Davis, you have DeAndre Ayton on an ascending team. So you have these big men who are starting to reemerge themselves as offensive threats in this league. And as a one-on-one defender, I mean, I don't think you can ask for too much better than he is. So I do think that's slightly overblown. I don't think, Rudy has complained about his touches, wanting more touches, maybe wanting some more post touches. And they've talked about, him constantly pointing up for lobs and things of that nature. But I think he's great at what he does, and he needs to focus on that. Another thing that I saw that I preferred to see, Bogdanovich, he's had 5 straight games of double-digit scoring. We talked about, now that Mike Conley's playing better, can you get Mike Conley to play better with Bogdanovich to play better with Mitchell? Then now you're cooking with gas, and that seems to have happened. He seems to have turned the corner and started to play better. But that was also with Ingles out. So now Ingles is back in the fold. They have a lot of players with a lot of overlapping skill, but I do think that they're in the right points of their career. Conley, Ingles, Bogdanovich, that I think that they're going to do what's best for the team and really allow, what's best for the team to happen. Whoever has the hot hand, I don't think you're going to have people complaining for the touches. Clarkson, like I mentioned in the season opening, if you watched it, the thing that we all wanted to see is his shooting, the way that he has played since mid-season with Cleveland last year to the Jazz and regular season in the bubble. Will that carry over the season? It looks like he has carried over. That's just a true showing of a player progressing, working on his game, figuring out the right diet of shots that he needs to shoot, and then focusing on that. So, bringing it back to Spider Mitchell, I think he can definitely be a superstar, but he definitely has to, one of the ways that he can improve it to get that scoring up from 23 a game to 27, 28, 29 points a game is free throws. He definitely needs to attack the basket more, hunt foul shots, slows down the game, allows the team to set their defense with a player like Gobert. That's a big thing. I just think he needs to definitely focus on how can I get myself fouled more? How can I live at the rim more? I don't know if it's a conditioning thing or just a focus on shot diet with him, but I definitely think that's a place of improvement. Recording this on a Friday, so I think the Jazz schedule, they have a game versus the Warriors on Saturday, which is an interesting game to me. See how they defend Steph Curry. As I mentioned with Gobert, that's a type of matchup that he's generally struggled against in his career. Those type of pick and roll mavens that draw him out, and that was why the addition of Favors was so big. He's not really that switchy of a big, but he can do it in stretches. So you don't really lose everything. You don't really just lose your complete defensive identity if Favors has to come in because that matchup is too hard for Gobert. So that would be interesting. And then going into the week, they have 2 games versus Dallas, I believe. Dallas twice. They have the Nuggets on national TV. Sunday matinee game, because it's the bye week before the Super Bowl. So it's the first basketball Sunday game with basketball's on the marquee, and they're on it. So this is really an opportunity for them to announce themselves to the world and to the basketball landscape. This was part of the discussion last night on Inside the NBA. Are they there yet? Now they're the number 2 seed in the West. If not for a couple of shots here or there for Denver, who knows? They probably could have went on that run to the Western Conference Finals last year, and then we would really be looking at them in a different light. But now the spotlight is on them. If they can keep this 7-game win streak going, beat Dallas twice, beat Denver twice, Denver team, like I mentioned, they match up very well with, then, people are going to have to start looking at them as a team that could definitely come out and, get to the Western Conference Finals. So their arrow's definitely going up. I'm going to be intrigued to watch them versus Dallas twice. Gobert versus Porzingis. How does Gobert fare versus these matchups? Porzingis is a good facsimile, somewhat, to Anthony Davis on offense. This is a team that they're going to have to potentially go through if they want to. Obviously, if they want to get to the NBA Finals, but conference finals, them or the Clippers, I would like to see that matchup as well. I think that one's coming up in a couple of weeks, so we'll definitely see. So that's Utah. Arrows definitely going up. Game is a game. That was 15 minutes on Utah. You have any comments? Definitely leave them. I respond to any comments that you leave. Definitely love the support. It looks like a lot of Utah fans came to this organically. I'm gonna try to pump this a little bit more, put some advertising in to get it out to Utah, get it out to the people. And so if you have any questions, any comments, definitely leave it. Game is a game. 30 minutes. Get at me.